2022 Yamaha RMAX Sport Test Review. Best in class, made even better. Released September 2020, Yamaha's brand new RMAX 1000 line was received with a level of enthusiastic anticipation and excitement typically reserved for pure sport side-by-sides. In our first test the following month, its strong performance, unique features, and high level of refinement left us feeling like Yamaha had a winner on their hands. November 22, 2021, our suspicions were confirmed as the Yamaha RMAX 2 won our inaugural 1000cc sport utility side-by-side shootout against two very worthy opponents, the Polaris General XP and brand new Can-Am Commander 1000. The king of technical terrain, Yamaha told us last year the RMAX shocks were optimized for maximum low-speed comfort and maximum articulation, while still offering a high level of bottoming resistance. However, when the trail opened up and rolling bumps began to form, the rear shocks reached their limits a while before the engine. The back end can get a bit lofty. The lack of a rear sway bar, which makes the RMAX an incredible rock crawler, allows the back end to deflect a bit, rebounding from deep in the travel on uneven high-speed rollers. Unwilling to back off the gas, we were able to settle the car down quite a bit by adding 10 millimeters of preload to the rear shocks and running the QS3 shocks in their firm setting. See our 2021 RMAX setup tips video for more. As performance enthusiasts first and casual cruisers second, we couldn't help but wonder how much more fun and capable the RMAX could be at higher speeds with a set of shocks tuned for intermediate to high-speed driving. Yamaha gave us that and so much more with the even more sport-focused 2022 RMAX 1000 Sport. UTV On Demand's test for the 2022 Yamaha RMAX Sport was made possible by
Planet Side-by-Side makes upgrading your ride fast and affordable with their price match guarantee and free shipping on orders over $99. A leader in wheel and tire packages. They stock System 3, Maxxis, ITP, Fuel, Method race wheels, and more. Planet Side-by-Side serves your off-road audio needs with brands like Wet Sounds, SSV Works, and Rockford Fosgate. For all your side-by-side needs with no interest financing available, visit planetsidebyside.com.
At $22,599, we applaud Yamaha for positioning the RMAX Sport between the $20,699 RMAX R-Spec and the $23,899 RMAX XT-R. The Sport adds key features most drivers would value for sporty driving, without forcing us to finance a bunch of other premium add-ons we may or may not want. The Sport adds new, highly adjustable Fox 2.0 shocks, new GBC TerraMaster SQ tires, and beadlock wheels borrowed from the YXZ 1000R. The Sport also enjoys the addition of Yamaha's 3-position D mode. It offers different acceleration and engine braking characteristics, maximizing performance for different terrain and use. Interior LED lighting, as well as an upgraded shifter and parking brake handle, are standard and shared with the XT-R and LE models. If you're a fan of Yamaha Blue, you're going to like the look of the Sport, and we most certainly do. The RMAX XT-R edition retains its original Fox QS3 shocks and 4,500-pound worn winch, and Yamaha's removable Adventure Pro GPS tablet infotainment system. A factory-installed SSV audio system and beadlock wheels were added for 2022. At the top of the line, the $24,399 RMAX 2 1000 Limited Edition enjoys all of the perks found on the XT-R edition, plus the addition of Fox IQS suspension. It provides a similar suspension tune and 3-way compression adjustability as the R-Spec and XT-R models, with the added convenience of being able to switch dampening settings from inside the cockpit. To put the new RMAX Sport to the test, driver Eric Jones, who participated in our 1000 Sport Utility Shootout, flew to Talladega, Alabama to drive the Sport at publicly owned Top Trails Off-Road Park. There, we met up with representatives from Yamaha who were kind enough to support us with units, directions, and all of the suspension tuning support we needed. A liquid-cooled, parallel twin-cylinder engine featuring 4 valves and double overhead cams per cylinder powers the RMAX. It produces 108 horsepower at the crank. That's 8 more horsepower than the Polaris General XP and Can-Am Commander 1000s, the 60-inch wide Sport side-by-side class, and 4 horsepower more than the Honda Talon 1000s. We're told a significant horsepower increase is easily within reach for the Yamaha RMAX 1000. Rudd Performance Motorsports entered the industry to meet the demands of performance-focused Yamaha RMAX owners. They tell us their exhausts were developed to extract maximum performance and sound from the RMAX, featuring an easy-to-install slip-on design with stainless steel construction backed by a lifetime warranty. Both RPM exhaust systems are said to increase rear-wheel horsepower from 66.3 to 77.5, an 11.2 horsepower increase over stock when paired with a DynoJet Power Vision 3. The RPM Round Series increases sound output by 10 decibels, with their Quiet Series raising sound output by only 5 decibels compared to stock. RPM exhausts, DynoJet Power Vision 3s, and custom tunes for their exhausts are available through Rudd Performance Motorsports at rpmspeedpart.com. Air intake for the engine and CVT are mounted high under the hood, making ingesting dirt and water less likely. There's tool-free access to the engine's primary foam filter with a secondary paper filter Yamaha claims will not pass dirt. Air and fuel are delivered via Yamaha fuel injection with dual 48mm throttle bodies. Yamaha's Ultramatic CVT transmission relies on a primary wet clutch to handle engagement, providing constant belt tension, resulting in greatly reduced drive belt wear. This allows Yamaha to cover the belt with a 10-year warranty. Yamaha's on-command drive system provides 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and 4-wheel drive with front differential lock via a 3-position knob on the dash. The Yamaha chip-controlled digital throttle features their D-mode system, offering Sport, Trail, and Crawl modes. Each mode delivers full power, with Sport mode tuned for quick acceleration and responsiveness. Trail and Crawl modes offer full engine braking, with Sport mode tuned for smoother braking. The RMAX Sport fired right up on our 50-degree test morning, although we know it can be a little cold-hearted at lower temperatures. The transmission shifts smoothly and effortlessly between high, low, neutral, and reverse, even on hills. Clutch engagement is magically smooth, with no feel of belt lash typical of CVTs. This makes low-speed maneuvers easier and helps make the most of limited traction. The RMAX is the fastest accelerating machine in its class. It feels as fast or faster than some sport machines, providing more thrills than you might expect from a utility-capable machine. Power is strong and linear through the RPM range. D-Mode's Crawl mode, combined with a locked front differential, provides nearly perfect traction crawling up slick, damp rocks. Trail mode provides a very natural-feeling acceleration that seems proportional to the demand placed on the gas pedal. Sport mode is sort of similar to slapping a quarter-turn twist throttle on your dirt bike. It doesn't change the power capabilities of the engine, it simply delivers more gas with less movement of the throttle. The added confidence of the Sport suspension made Sport mode easier to take advantage of. More on that soon. Again, the gas pedal heel area could be ergonomically improved a bit. The higher level of engine braking provided in Crawl and Trail modes do well at helping keep speed in check on downhills. Sport mode's reduced engine braking lets you coast a bit more through bumps, providing a smoother sport riding experience. Overall, the engine is versatile, very capable, and most importantly, fun. The RMAX steel chassis looks well built and designed to last throughout. Its 64-inch width and 86.7-inch wheelbase adapts well to all types of terrain. Most of the underside of the frame is covered by a welded-on steel skid plate with a front plastic skid plate and rear CV guards. Kickouts on the lower frame rails help prevent snagging the rear wheels on trees or other obstacles. Dual A-arms front-use wide-arc lower arms for improved ground clearance. Dual control arms out back utilize single stamp design lower arms to maximize strength. New Fox 2.0 shocks continue controlling a class-leading 14.2 inches of suspension travel front and 16.9 inches of travel rear. The preload adjustable dual spring setup now features adjustable spring crossovers. They allow you to choose the point in the travel when the tender spring crosses over to the main spring. This allows you to fine-tune weight transfer or how quickly the shocks firm up as they go through the travel. There's a new damping curve front and rear in search of improved bottoming resistance and cornering manners. 25 clicks of low speed and 26 clicks of high-speed damping adjustment make these the most tunable shocks in the sport utility segment. The ride height and tire size are unchanged, allowing the RMAX Sport to retain its class-leading 13.8 inches of ground clearance. We've been using the GBC TerraMaster tires on a number of our builds for the past couple of years, and enjoy the added versatility they add in soft terrain compared to GBC's more hardpack-focused Canadi mongrels we often use out west. Yamaha worked with GBC to develop the new TerraMaster SQ tires specifically for the sport. The goal of the 10-ply radial design was to improve steering precision and sliding character in their intended terrain. We've found them to work extremely well in most any drier condition, from loose sand to hard-packed dirt or rock crawling. The new GBC TerraMaster SQ features a more squared profile than the standard TerraMaster tires. The step tread on the original TerraMaster was replaced with a non-stepped, full tread lug, helping increase the tread's lifespan. Like the originals, the TerraMaster SQ tires featured a non-directional, asymmetrical tread design that offers an added level of vehicle adjustment. Side A is intended for softer to intermediate terrain with a high void ratio on the outside edge of the tires. Side B offers an increased contact patch for harder conditions. GBC is now making this tire available to the public in various sizes up to 37 by 10 by 14. You can learn more about them at gbcmotorsports.com. The RMAX Sport runs a square tire and wheel setup like the other RMAX 2s, with 30 by 10 by 14 inch tires used on all four corners, helping retain its class-leading 13.8 inches of ground clearance. Yamaha borrowed the sharp-looking 14-inch beadlock wheels from the front of the YXZ 1000R for the RMAX Sport. They provide looks, added strength, and the security of being able to get home with a flat. We feel the wheel and tire package add a lot to the RMAX Sport. All of Yamaha's updates to achieve a higher level of suspension and handling performance at higher speeds have really added up in a great way. While the ride is undoubtedly firmer, the shocks remained quite good at taking the edge off hits from big roots and rocks. With the suspension's preload and damping settings coming roughly in the middle of their settings from the factory, the ride was firmed up over medium-sized impacts, but still nothing we found objectionably harsh in the least. From square-edge G-outs to mild rollers on wide-open trails, we fell in love with Yamaha's new sportier suspension tune. The RMAX never bottomed noticeably, not one time all day, no matter how ridiculous the speeds got. The rear end rides higher in the travel traversing high-speed rollers and dips. It never seemed to rebound too quickly from deep in the travel, making the rear end deflect or easily become disconnected from the trail. It was more settled, bottomed less, and drove our confidence in the RMAX's suspension and handling to the next level. The sport-specific shock tuning doesn't make you give up the RMAX's unrivaled rock-crawling prowess. We found success in softening the ride by removing 5 clicks from the shock's high and low-speed damping. We were able to firm up the ride noticeably by adding 5 clicks, but without more time to test, we were extremely happy with the shocks right out of the box. If you already own an RMAX Sport or are considering buying one, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our upcoming video on how to set up your RMAX Sport. We kind of like the way the back end of most RMAX 2's squat and transfer weight in turns like a trophy truck. Now the back end feels as though it corners nearly as flat as the front without the addition of a rear sway bar. This should boost the confidence of less experienced drivers. While the GBC TerraMaster SQ tires are more of a dry, sand, and rock-focused tire, they had no problems on the mild, hard-bottom mud holes and slick, rocky sections we encountered. They handled well and offered a bit more versatility and performance than we originally expected. Suspension and handling are vastly improved for high-speed driving, making the suspension's capability feel like a good match for that class-leading horsepower. Will it jump or pound whoops as well as the Polaris General? We can't say for sure, but for aggressive driving, the RMAX Sport takes a big step forward. The RMAX is slowed by 4-wheel hydraulic disc brakes. 255mm rotors with 32mm calipers are used up front, with 244.5mm rotors and 27mm calipers out back. Dual piston calipers are found at both ends. Steel braided brake lines are used for enhanced power and feel. Our first test of the RMAX left us wanting to use a lighter pedal pressure. By the time our brakes had a little time to break in, they tied for first in our shootout. We're very happy with their power and feel. The RMAX 2 features a cosmetically well-disguised, hydraulically assisted composite dump bed with multiple steel tie-down points and 600 pounds of cargo capacity. A 2-inch hitch receiver is rated to tow an additional ton even with the bed loaded. If Yamaha would add an unlockable rear differential to the RMAX, it would arguably be the most versatile and hardest working machine in the class. As equipped, it's a very capable work companion. Getting in and out of the RMAX is pretty easy. The shoulder bolsters received mixed reviews. Drivers of all sizes say they rub their shoulders. Passengers typically like it that it provides the feeling of added security. The 3-piece doors close securely, don't rattle like some OEM doors, and the interior-mounted handles feel high quality. Speaker pods are found in the doors, should you decide to add audio to the Sport. The interior is the most refined in the class, from its soft touch points for your knees, the soft touch tilt-adjustable steering wheel, quality, robust-feeling switches and knobs, ergonomically comfortable, solid-feeling emergency brake lever and gated shifter, to the abundance of pre-cut, covered switch mount points. Eric was wishing for a little more ramp-up on the left driver's floorboard for a little easier bolstering when charging down hills. The upright, Jeep-like seating position that aids viewing seems just a little out of place on a machine with this much high-speed capability, but we're honestly looking for things to complain about at this point. We rarely come away as satisfied with any machine as we are with the Yamaha RMAX Sport. It's like Yamaha built the Sport based on every upgrade we wished for with our 2021 XT-R. We wanted the RMAX to have fancy, adjustable shocks like the Polaris General. Now, the Yamahas are far more adjustable. We wished it had the cool beadlock wheels like the similarly priced Can-Am Commander XTP. And now it has both for $2,700 less than the base model General XP 1000 Deluxe. In closing, we'll sum it up like this. Had the RMAX Sport represented Yamaha in our 1000cc Sport Utility side-by-side shootout, the gap between first and second place would have been even bigger. Learn more about the Yamaha RMAX Sport and their full line of side-by-sides and ATVs at YamahaMotorsports.com.